Okay, so this is around the time that people start getting in a summer rut. We go through the beginning of the year. There's so much momentum, so much fire, so much stuff going on that people get tired. They get complacent. They get in this point of, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I've been pushing for this long, or maybe some of you have missed your promotions barely each month. And you get to a point where you're like, I physically don't know if I can push for this promotion anymore. I don't know if I can, keep my team motivated. I don't know if I can keep myself motivated. I'm getting to a point where I'm like, holy crap. And so I was talking to Cami. I think my car alarm is going off right now. Okay, they stopped it. I was talking to Cami, and she was like, this is around the time that people get into a summer rut. They have been pushing since conference. They've been pushing for all these bonuses, pushing for all these promotions. And it gets down to a point where you're like, okay, summer's going, and especially if you have kids, especially if you're just getting out of school. If you're getting out of school, you're like, hell yeah, summer, like I'm so hype. I'm ready to not go to school all day, not have homework, and you want to do all these other things, and promoting is like the last thing you want to do. And then it comes to you being a mom, and you have kids, and your kids get out of school, and you're too busy, and you're getting out of your schedule, and that's kind of the time where everyone's routine changes. Us as humans, we hate change. Drop a 1 if you feel me, if you absolutely hate change. I cannot stand change. That's when I lost rank the very first time. When I lost rank from diamond to double was because my life changed. I went through relationship issues. I went from high school to college. I went from home to a dorm. Everything changed in my life. And so it comes to a point in our businesses where something happens, just like I said, students, you go from going to school to going home to summer and having 0 responsibilities, or you're having to go to a full-time job, which I hope you don't have to do. I hope you can do this full time. Or you're a mom and your kids come home from school and you're like, oh my God, like shut up, all of you, like quit yelling at me, quit asking me for things, like I'm doing my business. So if you feel me on that, I just kind of wanted to let you know that we are going to prepare for it. We're going to be solution-minded. We are going to know that the problem is there and that there's going to be a switch, there's going to be a change, but we are going to come up with a schedule beforehand. Because what I don't want to happen is you two have put this much work from January to February to March to April to May, all this time, for something to change and something in your business to go from A to B and you not know how to handle it. So for those of you that are maybe going to be going through what I just talked about, whether you have kids or you just got out of school or whatever, maybe your life doesn't change in the summer because you still have a full-time job because you're working on going full-time in this, but there's just things that it makes it hard to be passionate, hard to be excited, hard to be motivated, and you get discouraged easier, you get in ruts easier. Ruts are a thing, okay? I don't like using the word, I don't like saying funk, I don't like saying any of that because I feel like the more you say it, the more you sulk in it, and the more that you sit there and say, oh, I'm discouraged, oh, this, and you literally have to drag yourself out of it. But the thing that helps me the most when I feel like I'm in a rut or when I feel like I don't want to do it is I do it. And I know it sounds dumb and I know it sounds like, okay, like what? That's what I don't want to do. When you don't want to message, I swear to you, if you get up and put your big girl pants on and message anyways, when you start getting responses, you get excited. Do you not? Drop a 2 if you know what I'm talking about. When you start messaging and people start responding and you're like, oh my God, I'm hyped now. Like I don't even like and then I know all of you have thought about this too. You message someone and they're like, yeah, like I'm totally excited. And you text them and they like sign up and you're like, oh my God, like I'm so hyped. I'm going to message 100 more people. And you're like, imagine if I wouldn't have got out of that and just made myself do it anyways. That's kind of what you're going to have to do with your promotion. You're going to know there are going to be things that are going to change in your life. You're going to go from school to summer or school to summer to working full time or having your kids at home. You're going to have distractions, but I'm going to tell you one thing is that when you're going for something good and you're doing something like this and you're pushing towards something like this, you did not come this far to only get this far. You did not come this far to get this close and miss it. And I know you did not. I know you did not bust your butt January, February, March, April, May to get to this point where things are going to start changing and you're going to start forgetting what you've pushed for. So that's that thing. We're going to come up with a game plan. You're going to get your charts out, make sure they're completely updated, and you yourself are going to have to come up with a game plan of why you're not going to get in the rut, why you're not going to let that change your schedule. And I always remember Sam, I know Sam's on here. She went from working full-time to doing this full-time and then moving into her apartment. And she was like, everything, I just feel like I've lost control. Like, I feel like everything's going crazy. And I was like, you didn't lose control. Your schedule just changed. And that's something that we have to, have grace with and understand is that Hold on, notifications. Nope, someone's trying to get in on my Zoom. You start freaking out because stuff changes. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm freaking out. I feel like I'm not doing this right. I feel like I'm not being a good leader just because your life changed. You know what I'm saying? And I know that you felt that. So sometimes when you move or you change a job or you quit the job or you do this full time or your kids come home or you quit, you're not in school and you go to summer, it's a change. And you're like, suddenly you feel like you've lost complete control of your business. And you're like, holy crap, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. And you literally feel like I ate chicken with your head cut off. That's where you have to grab back control of the reins. You have to stay in control of your business. And you have to say, okay, I didn't lose control. I've got to gain control of a new schedule. I've got to gather my thoughts, figure out what I'm doing, and just work it around the new things that I'm doing. So if you had a schedule that you got into the routine of, we as humans, like I said, shut down when change happens. So if you say you're in college, you're not going to school anymore, you're going home for the summer, and maybe you're getting a job or whatever it is, anticipate what your schedule is going to be and work your business around that and figure out a new schedule and just keep doing it because you're going to get back into routine. But at first you're not. And at first you're going to freak out and think that you've lost control of your business, but you did not. Don't let that change the way that you're working your business, and don't let that change the way that you lead. Because at the same time, your schedule may change, but your team's does not. Majority of your team is probably going to stay the same. And if you change and you start acting like you're losing control, then you actually will lose control of your business. And that's the last thing that you really got to stay in control of what you're doing and where you're going and the things like that. So another thing I wanted to talk about going along that is getting complacent, you guys. You know that I have gone through the ups and downs of this business along with you. If you're going through it, if you've been through it, you know that I've been through pretty much everything that you will or are going through. And the biggest thing is that when I lost rank, I just became complacent. It was when all that change was happening. It was when I felt like I lost control of my business. It was when I felt like I wasn't capable of leading, and I started questioning my worth and started thinking, you know, maybe I was a one-hit wonder, and maybe I am too young to lead a team of people that are older than me. And all of these things start creeping in, and I know that you felt that drop of 3. If you feel me, if you've had moments like that in your business where you're like, okay, am I capable of doing this? Am I capable of, continuing? Maybe I should just chill out because my team is doing their thing. And maybe I should just kind of sit back. And don't do that. Don't listen to that. Don't convince yourself of those things. Don't do those things. Don't talk about those things. Don't repeat those things. Because I want to ask you something. How many of you does it completely piss you off when your team texts you and they're like, well, I'm just discouraged and I'm just this and I'm just that? Because you know how much you believe in them and how much you've seen them work and how much you've seen them enroll. And they come to you and have all these negative thoughts in their head where they've convinced themselves that they can't enroll and that they can't work and that they can't maintain and they can't do this and they can't do that. And you literally get panic in your heart. I feel that way about so many of you. Yes, it's fine to come and to say, this is my issue. Totally not saying that. Like, if you ever need to complain, you can come to me. We can have our moment and then we can come up with a solution. Not saying that. I'm saying the moments where it's people on your team that have themselves convinced that they are going to sit where they are, that they aren't capable of mass enrolling, that they aren't capable of going to the next level. All the things that we tell ourselves. Guys, we're going for big things on this team. And I don't know if you've noticed that yet, but we're going for big things, guys. Like, we're literally about to have 30 diamonds in a house together that have literally popped within the past year. Because a year ago, this month, 2 years ago, this month, I promoted to diamond. And not long after that, I lost that. And I became complacent with my business. I got to a point where my team was going to do it for me. And my team, I didn't have to bust my butt to maintain for all the months that I did. I worked my business, but I didn't have to bust my butt because my team was doing it. My team was working with me and we had that fire. And then I sat back. And then I said, okay, my team's doing good. We're going places. They're going to keep promoting. I'm just going to keep working with them and I'm going to keep promoting. I know you've all felt that. I know you've all got complacent when you got to a rank and thought, okay, well, my team is killing it right now. We're going places. We're going to do all these big things. And the moment you chill out, you're like, whoa, where'd my team go? Where'd my volume go? Where'd my check go? We've all gone through that. And I see half of you nodding your head and smiling because we've all gone through that. And I think it's good that we have, but I don't want that to happen to you anymore. I want us to be able to evaluate the problem and figure out a solution. So I want to ask you something. For those of you, this isn't directed towards anyone. We have a lot of people on our team that this happens to. For those of you that have been maintaining a rank for a while, or maybe you're trying to go towards that next rank, but you're just focusing on maintaining. Why are you just focusing on maintaining? Stop telling yourself each month, oh my gosh, I just have to maintain. I have to maintain. No, you need to come up with a 90-day plan to get to your next rank. And in the process of you getting to your next rank, you will maintain your promotion. If you sit there and tell yourself, I've got to maintain, I've got to maintain, I've got to maintain, you're not excited about maintaining. I don't ever once say, man, yeah, I'm excited to maintain for my paycheck, but as far as the work that I have to do to maintain it, that's not fun. That's not exciting, is it? You sit here and you have this promotion that you have to maintain. That's not fun to work towards. But how fun is it to work towards a new promotion? Getting those new girls on your team to their promotions, getting those people that are super excited on your team to promotions, that's exciting. So your goal should never be to maintain. Your goal should be to bust your butt to go to the next level, because that next level has your name on it. And if you sit there and hold yourself back and say, oh, I'm just going to sit here at this rank because I need to maintain, I really need that $2,000 paycheck, but what about that $5,000 paycheck? Maybe you're double and you're like, okay, I need to maintain double again because I need that $5,000 paycheck. What about a $10,000 paycheck? That feels better. That's more exciting. That will hype you up more. And so I really want y'all to just stop thinking about the small goals and think big. Because like I said, this team is doing big things. And I know you've already noticed that because our team has literally pulled in ridiculous amounts of volume, had insane amounts of promotions. And that's you. That is not just one person. That's not just a few legs. That's every single person on this team fighting relentlessly for the next level that they want. And if we all just focused on maintaining, we would never get anywhere else. We would never go above and beyond. But if we're sitting there and we're like, hey, we're going, I'm going ambassador, Cheyenne's going prez, Kayla's going prez, Abby's going double, Sarah's, all these people are going to that next level and they're excited. And imagine what all that excitement is going to feed down to the people below us that haven't really got that excitement yet. I know what it feels like to watch your E-Suite change over to a new rank. Drop a 4 if you know that feeling of just, oh my God, yes, I freaking did it. I did all this work. There's never a moment. I posted this on the team page. There is never a person that's at the top of the company, that's a Black Diamond, that's an ambassador, that's in the top 150 that would ever say, man, I regret staying up late and getting up early. I regret, sacrificing going out and having a social life for the 30 days I have to promote. I regret, busting my butt and messaging and crying and freaking out and having I regret all of it. I wouldn't do it. I guarantee you they would say I would do it over and over and over again. Because what it feels like to reach that next level after something you've been pushing for so long feels so good. And imagine putting that onto your team. Imagine what it's going to feel like when you watch your first personally enrolled diamond pop, or your first diamond go double, or your first double go triple, or your doubles. You know what I'm saying? It just feeds into the next people, and that feels so much better than your own promotion. And so those of you that are on here that are maybe diamond or working on diamond, guys, when you go diamond, that's when you first literally get the ability to print money. That's when your paychecks explode. That's when you get cabs. If you don't know what cabs are, that's $80 a person, $80 on top of your $100 bonuses on your that truck. Oh my God. But cabs are literally the way that you can print money. And imagine what it feels like to have someone on your team that you've watched relentlessly fight for their promotion to be able to see that too, and see that paycheck and see it change over to diamond. That's what feels good. And so stop with the small goals. Stop with the I'm trying to maintain. Start with the I'm trying to go to the next level. And I'm trying to show my team that they can go to the next level too. And on top of that, when you set these small goals, your team does too. You set the pace for your team. So if you're going to set your pace at barely enrolling, if you're going to set your pace at copy and pasting people's posts and not making your own, if you're going to set the pace of never getting on work Zooms or team trainings or these leader Zooms, if you're going to set the pace for promoting and just trying to maintain instead of having that constant excitement, you're setting that pace for your team. And I know sometimes it's hard to put that finger on ourselves and say, oh, maybe I did this to my team. Sometimes it's really hard. And when I lost rank, what the first thing I did? I blame my team. I blame my team for not showing up. I blame my team for not getting up on the work Zooms. I blame my team. I blame my team. I blame my team. Not one time did I blame myself, because that's hard. That's a really hard pill to swallow when you're like, oh crap, maybe I did this to myself. I set the bar for my team where it was. I wasn't enrolling as much as I should have. I wasn't putting in the work as much as I should have. I was focusing on maintaining diamond and not going double for 10 months. And it's ironic because the moment that I got out my double diamond chart and started working on double diamond, I went double diamond, because I stopped focusing on small goals and I started getting bigger dreams, and I started focusing on the next level, and I started focusing on where I wanted to be and not where I've already been. So that's my spill on that. But, I knew from very early on what I wanted in this business. And that's the biggest thing, is knowing vision, knowing where you're going, knowing what you're doing. Because when I started this, I didn't know my vision. I didn't know what I wanted. And because I didn't know what we even had. I thought we only sold wraps. Like, I had this minimal, tiny, little pea size of a dream, this little thing of a vision. And I wanted to kind of talk to you all about this, because I many times look over it. But do you ever think about, before you join this business, how little you dreamed? Yeah, we thought we were going to be princesses one day, and we thought about all these little crazy things. But did you ever actually dream about buying this brand new house and buying these brand new cars and going on buying that designer bag that you wanted? Did you ever actually dream? And now every day I watch y'all post stuff about being able to spoil your family and buying cars and paying them off and buying these nice houses. This company gave you the opportunity to dream like that. And I literally thought about that last night while I was laying in bed, and I was like, oh my God, this business did that. So whether you knew from very early on where you were going, or whether these promotions and the paychecks and your team and everything that goes along with this business and the people and conference, and whether you plugged into an event or not, they show you how to dream. And so if you have the vision for your team, and you've caught the vision and you know where you're going, imagine where your team is where they're going to go. They're going to know exactly where to go. They're going to know exactly what promotion they're going for, because you're constantly dreaming and you're constantly going to that next level, and you're constantly knowing, I'm going here, my team is going here. Because I want you to think about this. If you didn't know where you were going, and you didn't post about the promotions you were going for, and you didn't post in your chats, and you didn't talk to your team about the promotions they were going for, where would you go? Anywhere but up. So, I know that this business has not only changed my life financially and all of the things in between, but it's also changed like who I am. Like, it's changed the way that I lead people. It's changed the way that I see things. It's changed the way that I care about people. And I know that y'all probably see a lot of things in yourself when you go through like a conversation. You're like, whoa, who is that? I've changed a lot. And so that happens a lot to me. But, the more, I know that this business is allowing me to dream and allowing me to do so many bigger things in life. And I know that y'all are catching on to that. If you haven't already, I know once you go diamond and above and you see that vision through your team, you're like, okay, all this vision casting I've done, all this staying up late, all of the times I've pushed for promotions, all of the times that I've not believed in myself, everything in between has got you to where you want to be, And I think by now you probably have figured out why God placed his business in your life when he did. Because like I say all the time, at the beginning of this business, I had no idea. I was like, dude, I'm 18. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know even like what this company is. I don't know if I'm going to be good at it. And like I said, 6 months later, my whole life changed. And 6 months after that, my whole life changed again. And 6 months, now my life is nothing like it was when I joined. And so I understand now why God placed this business in my life. And sometimes, right off the bat, I literally don't have a freaking left turn to take. I only have one way to go, and that's this business. And I know that so many of y'all have gone through that. And once you figure out why this business was placed in your life, you have a whole different purpose and a whole reason why you're pushing for it, and a whole different way that you're looking at this business, because it has to work. Because where you're going is where you've got this vision. And so that's another thing, is a lot of people, that I talk to, I've had a lot of people recently coming to me saying, why am I doing this business? Where am I going with it? I don't know. And that's because a lot of you have too far-fetched goals. You're thinking too far ahead. You'll hear me all the time talk about the fact that I do this business because for my future family. But if I only use that to motivate me, that's too long term. I need something that's going to light my soul on fire now. I need something that's going to make me excited now. So you've got to start working on monthly goals and yearly goals, smaller goals that are going to make you more excited, smaller goals that are going to make you feel, you know, more excited and more, you know, empowered and all of that. And so, you know, those of you that have goals, those of you that have, you know, maybe future, maybe it's future family, maybe it's this, that, and the other, find something now, find something that's tangible, find something that's exciting for you now. I know a lot of people, if you do like maybe a promotion or you do a promotion, something like buying a car, you have to have something like that that's exciting now, that's going to keep you motivated now, and have a long-term goal like buying a house, you know, going to buy a dream car, a luxury car, whatever it is. You've got to have goals that are going to keep you going. And so what I was talking about earlier with people that, you know, at the top of our company are people that you look up to, people that inspire you. There is not a single thing in them that is not already in you. There's nothing that those people have that you don't already. It's just a matter of finding them. A lot of you don't watch personal development, and that's where a lot of it comes from. A lot of you have to find those things that are inside of you in order to take you to that next level. So many of you hold yourselves back. So many of you tell yourself these things that you shouldn't tell yourself. So many of you think that you're not capable and think that there's so many things in other people. They're prettier, they're smarter, they work harder, they have this, they have that. You have all of those things. But until you find that, until you are willing to know that you have those things, until you're willing to find them, you're going to constantly believe that the people at the top are always going to be where you want to be, and you don't ever feel like you can get there because we hold ourselves back because we're human and we're horrible to ourselves, and we say things to ourselves that we would never say to anybody else. And it goes along to say that I cannot physically believe in you, you know, more than you believe in yourself, ever. And it sucks. How many of you have somebody on your team that you believe in so much, but yet they don't see it? You're like, oh my God, if you would just work, if you would just post, if you would just watch personal development, if you would just plug in and get in our circle, if you would just believe in yourself, I wouldn't have to believe in you so much more for your, like, it hurts. It physically hurts me to believe in someone more than they believe in themselves. It's almost exhausting. It's almost like, why can you not see the potential that I see in you? And there's so many of you out of the 27 people that are on here that you have so much potential inside of you that if you just watched personal development, if you just took the time to surround yourself by the people that inspire you, if you just looked at the 5 people that are in your circle and evaluated if those are 5 people that are making you better, or if you're always the best person in the 5 people that are around you. That's always a really hard pill to swallow. Are the 5 people around you building you up, or are you building them up? Because if you ever want to grow, if you ever want to get better, if you ever want to unlock the potential that I see, if you ever want to go to that next level, you have to believe in that first. Because I can give you the tools, I can give you the Zooms, I can give you the Facebook Lives and the Facebook quotes and the team page posts, but I can't make you believe in yourself. I can't make you want to go to the next level. I can't make you promote. Yeah, I could build you, but then it would crumble because you didn't do it. You didn't believe in yourself. You didn't see that thing that I saw in you before you saw it. And, you know, I know where I'm going, and I want every single person on this Zoom to know where they're going, because I didn't know when I got started, and I sure didn't know until probably when last year when I finally started promoting and saw what it takes to rally the troops together and saw what it takes to be excited and saw what it takes to lead a team. Because at the end of the day, every single one of you was invited on this Zoom and was automatically put on this Zoom because you got to where you are because you are a leader. And every single day there are going to be things that happen in your business, people leaving, people coming back, people doing this, people going through things. Guys, imagine if I would have never lost rank. I wouldn't be able to relate to half the people on our team. I wouldn't be able to share my testimony and share how I got to, go beyond that, and how I got to pick myself back up when I fell and figure out a plan, get the problem and find the solution and go beyond that. Imagine if I wouldn't have. So many of you look at the things that happen to you more as a setback rather than saying, this is happening to me for me. This is happening to me because one day someone's going to go through this on my team and I'm going to be the only one that can relate to them. Because one day you're going to look back at that and say, man, I'm thankful that that happened to me because I grew so much in that period of time. You know, when I lost rank, I literally was the worst. The absolute worst. Was expecting, I was like, hey, like, why aren't you enrolling 10 customers a day? I'm not seeing any downline orders popping up. And I wasn't either. So quit with the unrealistic expectations on your team and expect them of yourself, because you've got to start believing yourself in a little bit more, because I can't do it all for you. I can't believe in you more than you believe in yourself. You can't believe in your downline more than they believe in themselves, because you will physically exhaust yourself by putting more belief in them than you believe in yourself. You'll literally let them steal it away because you believe in them so much. So don't underestimate the power of this business, whether it be, you know, what it can do for you financially, but also what it can do for you as a person. So much is going to change in your life. So much of the things that you're going to go through. There is nothing in my life that would have made, I feel like, you know, those muscles when you go work out and you're sore the next day and you're like, I didn't even know that one muscle existed. You're like, why does this part of my body hurt? Because I don't know why and I don't know where it came from. That is this business. It will work a muscle in your body that you did not know you had. And I honestly can say that I don't think there's anything in life that would show me the things that this business has. It has shown me to believe in myself, that I am literally capable of anything I set my mind to do with the right personal development book, that I can do so much with a few people. And I reference this. I hope Mallory is on here. I sat on WorkZoom with Mallory and Kayla and Brittany all last month as they were pushing for promotions. And this would happen with any single person. I watched minimal people out of an entire chart bring it all together because they rallied together. And I know a drop of 5 if you feel that. You sat on Zoom at the end of a month pushing for a promotion, rallied your troops together, and got ridiculous amounts of volume and everything done in a short amount of time with a few people. So for those of you on here that are like, my charts are not working, my people aren't working, I don't care. Because if you can find one person that cares about this business as much as you can accomplish more than you think that you can. Stop setting yourself back and stop focusing on the people on your chart that aren't working, and start putting a little bit more emphasis and focus on the ones that do, because you will keep yourself from where you want to go if you put focus on people that do not matter. It is selfish. It is so selfish as a leader to put more emphasis on the people that don't care and have people standing behind you literally trying to get your attention, but you're focusing too much on people that don't deserve that attention. And Kelsey Thorne said this the other day. I'm going to go into this because it's one of my last paragraphs. If you're comparing yourself to someone else's business, zone back in. I want you to think about this long term. There were people when I went diamond in 5 months that compared their business to me so badly that they blocked me on social media. Okay. I went diamond in 5 months. I was on top of the world. I was feeling it. I was like, I am rich. I'm 18. I'm making $2,000 a month. But what they didn't see is that for 7 months, I fought to maintain my rank and was making $200 a month, but nobody knew that because I didn't tell a single soul. So there are people that you're comparing your business to right now that aren't even where you are because you built strong. You may have taken longer. You may have not had as many people. You may have not made as strong as paychecks of them at the beginning of the month, but they're not maintaining anymore, and you are. Their people quit, and you don't even know. They're not maintaining behind the scenes because it's all a happy face. It's all a highlight reel because you don't see what's happening behind. And it's also extremely selfish of you to sit there and say, oh, you know, I'm just going to compare my business to these people, because you know what you end up doing at the end of the day? You end up sitting there and putting so much focus on other people's businesses that yours is falling apart when you were ahead of them and you didn't even know it. I watch it happen all the freaking time. People that I'm like, oh my God, you're doing so amazing. And we as humans attack ourselves because we're horrible. And they're like, well, this person's doing this. And I'm like, you don't see their E-suite. You don't see their paychecks. You don't see their team. You're not them. That is not your journey. You should be focusing more on your own team than you're putting all this focus on someone else. It kills me. Your journey is your journey. Your paychecks are your paychecks, because I want to tell you something too. There are people, I don't know anything about this person, I'm just saying. Ashley Sinclair went Ambassador Diamond the fastest that anyone ever has in this entire company. I'm pretty sure it took her like 9 months to do it, okay? Someone else, Courtney Labby, went presidential in 4 months. And then there's me, who went diamond in 5 months. That's literally like 1/3 of the work that she did. But These two people, I don't know anything about what their businesses look like. I don't know anything about what their paychecks look like. They could be maintaining executive for all I know. So why would I sit there and focus more on the fact that Courtney went presidential in 4 months and Ashley Sinclair went ambassador in 10 months and I didn't? I could be making more than both of them. I don't know. But at the end of the day, no one else's business matters more than you, because the more that you put focus on someone else, comparison is the thief of joy. And comparison is also the thief of your own business, because if you sit there and focus too much on the people that are in the passing lanes next to you, you will lose focus on where you were going. And because you spend so much time focusing on the people next to you, they're going to keep going and you're going to stay stagnant. And I do not want that to happen to anyone, because I know what happens when you compare your business, because I sit there and watch people do it to me when I was sitting there like, oh yeah, like I'm diamond, and I was making $200 and they were making thousands, thinking that I was doing so much better than them, and I wasn't. So the moment that you start thinking about, oh, well, what about her? And she joined and did this so quickly, and she did that so quickly, whatever. Who gives a crap? And it shouldn't be you. So for those of you that, maybe you're struggling to maintain, or you've missed your rank over and over and over, or you're building a dead leg that is literally making you resent your own business, or whatever your situation is right now, stop. Stop being stagnant. Stop focusing on the things that are not working and start focusing on the things that are. Because I want to ask you one thing. With you focusing on that dead leg, that person that doesn't work, that person you're building, that rank you're not maintaining, is that getting you anywhere? It's not. It's not building you. It's not making you grow. It's not helping you make a higher paycheck. It's not making you more successful, and it's definitely not making you feel good. Start focusing on that next rank you're going to make. That vision I told you to tell yourself, and if you weren't in the chat when I said it, start thinking where you want to be in a year from now. And that's my task for you right now in the chat. Where do you want to be for a year from now? What do you want to do? What rank do you want to be? What will you feel? Where will you be? What house will you be in? What car will you drive? I want you to tell me where you want to be a year from now. And every single time you start getting distracted and start focusing on someone else and start talking about different things and start focusing on your dead leg and start focusing on the fact that your E-suite doesn't reflect what you feel like you are, I want you to think about that. And I want you to say, okay, this is happening, and I'm going to sit here and focus on whatever that distraction is that's holding you back, and think about it. Is it worth that keeping you from this? Is this worth keeping you from where you want to be? It's not. I swear to you. Because the moment that I sat there and was thinking about all the things that I was missing out on, and every single month, you want to know what I thought about every single month that I wasn't maintaining? The $200 diamond bonus that was supposed to be on my paycheck every month that wasn't there. Instead of thinking, oh my God, when I go double diamond, I'm going to be making $5,000 a month, and that $200 will become like this. It will mean this much to me because I will be double diamond. I will have a diamond on my team. I will have rubies. I will be working towards triple diamond. That's how you need to think. So do you want to continue sitting back and watching your team do all the work and watching your team struggle because you're not showing up to them as a leader, because you sit there and focus so much on the rank you're not maintaining or the place that you want to go that you're not at yet? God has a plan. Stop trying to reevaluate his plan. Stop trying to say, oh, well, I'm supposed to be here. No, you're not. You're supposed to be right where you are. And as long as you're watching personal development and you're plugging into this and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you will be going to where you want to go. And at the same time, don't neglect that. Don't say, okay, well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and I'm not getting to where I am, because there is a fine line between busting your butt and doing literally A to Z everything you're supposed to be doing and not getting to where you want to be, or saying that you are, because I've been there. There are days that I'm like, oh yeah, like I did what I was supposed to be doing. I'm like doing really good and I didn't do anything. But it's because my mind wants to convince me that I am, and I'm not. If you are being complacent, if you are sitting where you are right now, still months and months and months from now, sometimes it's hard to point that finger at yourself, but sometimes you have to, because no one else will. I can sit here and send every single one of you a text message of why I think you're still where you are, or why I think you're in this position, or why I think you're struggling with this. But at the end of the day, if you don't see it, it won't matter. At the end of the day, if I show you I went through this. This is what I did to get through it. If you don't truly believe that you can go beyond where you are, you will sit right here where you are a year from now on this Zoom, still struggling with the same thing that you're letting control you. So if you want all of these amazing things, if you want to do all these great things and have these things and have that promotion, guys, I want to be Ambassador Diamond so badly that sometimes it hurts. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like I get this overwhelming like fire and I'm like, oh my gosh, like and this is me, I'm red. I'm literally so red that I'm like, oh my God, all the shout outs I'm going to get and the paychecks and this and like, and then you think about what your team's going to do and you think about all the people that get to promote with you and all the people that you're going to see making money. And it's like all of these things come at you at once and you get this overwhelming feeling of, I have to do this. I have to go to the next level. I have to be this person. Think about that every single time you come up with something as to why you can't. Every time you go to bed without doing what you're supposed to be doing, why do you think that you deserve to go to the next level if you're willing to not get to the next level because you're being lazy and because you're being complacent, because you're not trying to lead your team and you're not trying to lead your own self? Guys, if you're pouring from an empty cup and you're not watching personal development and you're not being the leader that you're supposed to be, why do you ever think you're going to go to the next level? You will not. Because at the end of the day, the only way to make it to the top is to be a selfless leader and to pour into your team before you pour into yourself. You have got to start showing up for the people that are under you, for the people that believe in you. Because if you don't, they will not show up for themselves. And I'm telling you that because I have gone through it thinking, oh, well, if I don't work, these people will probably work because they want money. That doesn't really happen until about Diamond. I know if I left this company or if I stopped working, Cheyenne wouldn't quit. Kayla wouldn't quit, Abby wouldn't quit, Haley wouldn't quit. All of you would do your own thing, but that takes a while. That takes them believing in themselves. That takes them getting to a rank saying, okay, I got this down. I can lead my team. But until then, you're going to have to show up for the people that don't believe that point yet. I know that you know that if you're double diamond, any promotion like that, think about how many people, if you quit this business, they would quit too. That pressure is on you. And I want you to think about that because I remember thinking about that and thinking about it the wrong way and being like, who cares? But now that scares the crap out of me that you control someone's life. You control what they think of themselves. You control the fact of them believing in themselves enough because if you don't believe in yourself, why should they? So I am so excited for the next few months. And I want you to think about where you are going over the next few months. Do not let any more doubts, any more excuses, any more this, that, and the other, any more dead legs, any more not maintaining, whatever. Everyone's business is different, like I said. So whatever you are going through, put it out. Get rid of it. Put it in the back. Shove it away and think about where you're going and what you want to do, guys, because I believe in you more than anybody. Guarantee it. I see y'all literally fight relentlessly towards your goals. I watch you stay up late on work Zoom. I watch you month after month, some of you miss your promotions and get right back up. I watch you literally lead your team in ways that I never thought that you would. I see you show up in ways that I never showed up for myself when I got started. And I'm literally crying. I hate myself. I watch you all get back up when you fall just like I did. And not tooting my horn, but I know that if I would have quit, look at every single one of you that wouldn't be where you are right now. Don't be that person. Don't be that person that doesn't get up when they fall. Don't be that person that doesn't show up for their team. Don't be that person that doesn't pour into themselves with personal development. I just stuttered on my ass. That doesn't get personal development to where when your team goes through things, you don't show up for them. Don't be that leader. Be the leader that gets on these work Zooms, that shows up on these Monday night Zooms. Guys, I'm literally in BFE, struggled to get home at the right time, but I know that if I don't show up for y'all, some of you won't show up for yourself. And it took me a long time to get to this point to where I knew that what I do reflects on what you do. If I want to be ambassador and I want to build ambassadors and I want to build a team full of people that believe in themselves to where they can, it's literally like a family tree, next generation and next generation. What you do flows into your team and what they do flows into their team, and it literally goes on and on. So what pace are you going to set for your team? What boundaries are you going to make? What level of this is what we expect? Guys, if we wanted to as a team, if we bounded together as leaders, Diamond could be the next Ruby. Ruby could be the next distributor level. Like, what we set is what we do, and the pace that you set for yourself every day is the pace that you're setting for your team. So I want you to get off this Zoom. This is your call to action. Get off this Zoom and evaluate what level you're going to establish your team at. Are you going to hold yourself accountable every day? Are you going to post so raw and real that people know exactly who you are as they follow you? They follow you for you and not that you're a networks distributor. Are you going to do your own team Zooms? Are you going to start leading in ways that you haven't led? Are you going to start stepping up in ways that you're like, oh crap, that's me. She's talking to me. And if any point during this Zoom you felt guilty, I was talking to you. So step up in ways that I know, step up in ways that I literally sit here and I'm like, oh my God, like I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Stop letting me do that. Start showing me that you believe in yourself just as much as I believe in you. And I promise when you rally together with your team and you start showing up for them, imagine what you can do. Like I said on those Zooms, when I sat and watched those people band together with a few people on their team, those people showed up for them because the whole time they showed up for them. Vice versa. You show up for your team, they will show up for you. So I love y'all. I will post this recording for the people that didn't make it on, but start setting the pace for your team where you want to be. If you want to be Ambassador Diamond, start leading Ambassador Diamonds. Start being that next level. If you want to go Presidential Diamond, do what a Presidential Diamond does. Stop doing what an executive does because that's going to get you nowhere. Stop barely getting by. If you finish your 6 list by 2 o'clock, you better best bet you're doing another one. If you want to start leading your team in ways, start showing up in ways that you haven't. Start showing them that you're going to have their back when it comes down to a promotion month and they're 500 away on the last day, that you're going to sit there and fight with them too. So I love y'all. I will talk to you later. Courtney Bohr should have a team Zoom tomorrow that I will share in the team page. And I really, really want to start seeing y'all really step up in the team page. If you feel something on your heart to lead, share it in the team page. Go live. Start sharing it with your team. Step up as a leader because you have permission to lead. I'm not the only leader on this team. That is why we literally are about to have a freaking diamond and above retreat with 30 diamonds. 30 diamonds. And literally a year ago, I was not maintaining. Okay? That just shows you what can happen in an entire year in your business when you decide where you're going is more important and there is nothing holding you back. So I will talk to you later. I hope you have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow on Zoom. Bye, y'all.